Good evening YouTube, welcome back. In 1997, George Lucas released a Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition. For many fans all around the globe, it was a unique opportunity to finally see their favorite film saga on the silver screen for the very first time. The extensive remastering of Hope, Empire and Jedi was a pretty big deal back then. The special edition of the original trilogy had mainly two primary goals for George Lucas. For one, he finally had an opportunity to create the definitive versions of those films the way he, and I emphasize he, always envisioned them. And the other reason was to reignite worldwide interest for the franchise because of the upcoming first installment of the prequel trilogy, which was already in early pre-production. The special edition, to put it mildly, was met with mixed reception from the fanbase. And the controversial changes in some of the new sequences and scenes are even today the subject of controversial and heated debates among fans. However, I don't want to go into too much detail about the special edition right now, because that itself is a subject I will discuss in a future video someday. No. Tonight I'm here to introduce you to a look behind the scenes of the elaborate remastering of the original trilogy with Star Wars making magic. It was released in 1996 and the best way to describe it in one sentence, it's basically a bonus DVD for the special edition that never came out. On DVD that is. But owners of a personal computer in the mid to late 90s had now the opportunity to learn more about the background, the reasoning, as well as the actual remastering process of episode 4, 5 and 6. After booting up Making Magic, you'll see that the program is divided into 5 sections. Starting on top, George Lucas, via Special Edition, a sneak preview through the new sequences, LucasFilm Archives, ILM Production Crew, and LucasArts Credits. The first segment very much explains itself. It's basically George Lucas giving you his reasoning on why he decided to revisit his own trilogy and what motivated him to do the special edition in the first place. The sneak preview section is in my opinion by far the most interesting subsection of the entire program. Here you will be able to get a more or less detailed look into the most significant new sequences of A New Hope. The expanded Sand Troopers search for R2-D2 and C-3PO in the desert of Tatooine, the new look of the Mos Eisley spaceport, the infamous Jabba and Han scene, and finally the highly modified Battle of Yavin. On the right you'll see an additional preview for the new/expanded special edition scenes and sequences for Empire and Jedi. But let's take a closer look at the 4 New Hope scenes first, starting with the Tatooine desert. By pushing the various buttons on the bottom of the new window, you'll get the chance to learn more about the selected sequence. Clicking the first information button will show you a brief overview about said new scene, describing what was added, deleted or expanded in it. The next icon will give you the opportunity to view the original sequence from the 1977 version of the movie. Moving on to the third icon. Here you will see the hand-drawn storyboards for the new version of said scene. The fourth icon will show you the new animatics which were added to the original/expanded scene. It's basically a recording of the live video conference with producer Rick McCallum and the CGI crew, who are presenting the new models to George Lucas, who is giving them his feedback and his thoughts on them. And ultimately you'll get to see a preview of the updated sequence in a short photo montage. The overview of the new Mos Eisley scenes will also give you overall information about the updated sequence, a look at the original 77 version, storyboards and animatronics, as well as the preview of the new version. You'll get to learn more about the new CGI speeder bike and the Ronto 3D models, which are again presented to Lucas via video transmission. New in the subsections are the interview icons. In the Mos Eisley overview, Lucas will give you his thoughts and reasonings of the changes he made in this sequence. You will learn why he was unhappy with the effects of the original version, why he thought the sequence could use some childish humor, and trying to explain what the hell motivated him to let Greedo shoot first. Doing it not very convincingly. At least to me. Anyhow, next is the before mentioned, and also very divisive, Jabba and Han scene. Beside the information, the footage of the original scene, storyboards and the preview of the remastered scene, you will find your 2 interviews with Lucas and crew discussing the original shoot of the scene with actor Declan Mulholland playing Jabba, showing you the new CG model of Jabba the Hutt, and a video transmission of the CGI crew showing Lucas how they solved the Han walking around the new CGI model issue.
I love that. It's great. Good. So, because it's not over the top, eh? No, you can never... You can't be over the top in this movie, believe me.
Last and certainly least, the new version of the Battle of Yavin. And beside the brief information, the original version, and the preview of the new 97 sequence, you'll learn more about the changes made in this ambitious and epic finale of Hope, the new CGI models, the overall process of updating the sequence, and listen to Lucas again bitching about the limitations of the special effects department in the late 70s, and so on. In conclusion, the sneak preview of the new major sequences of Hope are very informative and sometimes even mildly entertaining, depending however very much of your own personal opinion of the special edition. However, I find it pretty disappointing that you don't get a detailed overview of the new changes, updated scenes and new editions of Empire and Jedi. All we get is a very rushed summary of the new shots of Cloud City, a preview of the extended new Wampa Cave scene, and the, in my opinion, very irritating, distracting and also cringe-worthy Jedi Rocks music number in Episode 6. Moving on to section number 3 of Making Magic, the LucasFilm Archives. In this subcategory you will get to see some turnable CGI models of the special edition, the new production photos of Hope, Empire and Jedi, look at some storyboards and sketches, and learn more about the release of the special edition of Star Wars and the back then new THX sound system and the press material subsection. ILM Production Crew. Here you will have the opportunity to learn more about the true wizards of Industrial Light and Magic, and the process of creating visual effects then and now. With now I mean the mid-90s. Aside from 4 interviews featuring John Knoll, Paul Houston and producer Rick McCallum, you can read up about the immensely talented and gifted effects artists, CGI animators, various photography and visual effects supervisors, electronic and camera engineers, stage technicians, and model makers of the original trilogy and its 97 special edition. Finishing the Making Magic interactive CD-ROM are the LucasArts credits, containing a back then surprising and intriguing announcement by Rick McCallum.
Everyone is curious to know whether or not George is going to direct any of the new movies.
It's funny you should say that because I just had breakfast with him this morning, and he is finally agreed that he is going to direct the first one. Categorically, there's no misunderstandings about that.
Everybody always wants to know whether I'm going to direct one of the new Star Wars, and I don't know whether I'm going to direct one of the new Star Wars or not. I mean, when we get there, we'll find out,
But he has agreed to do it.
I may direct one of the new Star Wars, but if I did, I'd only do one of them. I wouldn't do them all.
I swear I did not add this animated breakdown at the end. That's really there. Talking about the Bad Omen. Look, it's 2018, and by this point the 97 special edition itself is dated because it has been updated 2 times at this point. And if you're looking for a much more informative and detailed look behind the scenes of the special edition, by now you'll be better off by doing your own research on the internet. However, if you're a dedicated collector or a huge proponent of the special edition, then I think it still might be worth a look, even today. However, it is disappointing that it only focuses on episode 4 while episode 5 and 6 are barely touched upon. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. And that's all for this episode. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, take care.